I've never owned a motor sled, but today I'm buying my first one. I'm now going to buy it for 580 euros. 580 euros for a motor sled is like basically free. But there also might be a reason why the motor sled was only 580 euros. Is this an actual deal, or am I just gonna get fooled? The buyer was not that far away from where I'm located at. It was about a 1.5 hour drive, so it was not that bad. So because I'm a first-time sled owner, I have actually no idea how these sleds actually work. So I asked the seller for a bit of an orientation so he could show me all the little things I need to know about this particular sled. The beginning was kind of rough because we were having problems in actually starting the sled. But hey, what could you expect for a sled that costs 580 euros? The sled is also almost 40 years old. So I was not expecting to get a brand new out-of-the-box sled. But after a while we actually got it running, so no problems there. The sled also looks to be in pretty good condition. The seat is intact, the headlights work, no major damage anywhere to be seen. So I'm actually quite impressed to see a 40-year-old sled in this kind of a condition. I took the sled out for a test drive and the sled didn't break, so that's when I decided that I'm actually gonna buy it. The sled has been acquired, but in my opinion that sled was an absolute steal. 580 euros for a working sled. Okay, the sled is from the year 1987. It's a two-stroke engine and the volume of the engine was almost 500 cubic centimeters. I can't remember the exact amount, but a little bit shy of 500. It was in pretty good condition for an almost 40-year-old sled. And also the guy selling the sled to me was so nice and he showed me all of the things that I should know about the sled. And also I think it was his grandfather who was there as well. They were both pretty helpful there. They also helped me to get the sled on my trailer. So yeah, shout out to those guys and let's check out the sled better tomorrow. I screwed up big time. So as I was driving towards my garage, my friend called me and wanted to hang out with me. So as I had the sled with me, I wanted to show the sled to him. I tried to start the sled, but I immediately snapped the starting cable. So the repair works started before I could even get it on the snow for the first time. I've actually never worked on any kind of engines, 2-stroke, 4-stroke. I've never done any of these kind of repair works. So we were just kind of winging it and hoping for the best. But even the seller told me that these type of machines that are built in the 80s or 90s are pretty simple, so you should be able to figure it out by watching a couple of YouTube videos. So that's what we did. Two engineers just trying to figure it out, using our own head and a little bit of YouTube videos. The original starting cable snapped from the middle, so we had to replace the whole cable. But it was already kind of late and I didn't have any starting cables with me, so we tried putting in a normal rope in the hopes that a normal rope would be sufficient. But a rude awakening was in head for us. But before the rude awakening, we were having so much fun just trying to figure it out, because the YouTube shorts that we watched made it look so simple that changing a cable for a starter recoil would be like a 10-second job. But of course, it was never that simple. The starter recoils in those YouTube shorts were much simpler and the ropes were easier to get in than into this specific recoil.
Yes!
The starter recoil also seemed kind of stiff, so we put some lubricant in there so the pulling would be more smooth. Suoraan tosta. Mielestäni mulla menee niistä molemmista läpi. Boom! Kokee, kun se vetää. No!
6.5 hours later.
So it's a new beautiful day and I just got myself some new starting rope. Cause the first one broke and the second one broke as well, so now I had to get some actual starting rope. The only little thing I'm worried about is that it's not as thick as the first one, or should I rephrase, the original one. But it should be pretty durable starting rope, so let's see how it goes. Second time is the charm, or at least for me. But changing the starter recoil's rope for the second time isn't as hard as it is doing it for the first time. Now at least I think I know what I'm doing, so it went a bit smoother than the first time. Okay, now it seems plausible that it might actually start the engine, so I'm gonna put the exhaust back on so my hearing won't explode. Let's hope that I can get it running now this time. So here I realized I have some bugging issues with the sled. If the sled has any weight on it and you try to accelerate, it's not gonna move that easily. So something's wrong. I'm gonna have to check it out later. That went better than expected. The ice seems pretty thick, but what is that? Nah, maybe it's not for me. That's too scary. So the plan was to test the motor sled on that. Shit. I'm sliding down a hill. In these kind of situations, it would be pretty nice to have a four-wheel drive. This guy offered me a helping hand and he said that he's going to be able to get my trailer up that hill, because my little 2-drive was not able to do that. So that's the good thing about four-wheel drive. It had absolutely no problem picking that little trailer up the hill. Big shout out to that dude. That was pretty fun testing out a snowmobile for the first time. And it didn't go quite as planned, but maybe next time I'll go camping with the snowmobile. I might do some fine tuning to it, because there are some minor problems with the sled, so I might need to look into it and try to fix it. But hopefully I'll be camping with the sled the next time. Thank you guys so much for watching, and see you guys in the next video.